Gotta get your groove on. Get your groove on. what Mark was doing. Gotta get your groove on. Now, let me stop messing around, man. Yeah. Let me rock out for a second. That boy 3K say, Happy Valentine's Day, you know what I'm saying? Valentine's Day special. YouTube gonna take me down. So what? We don't follow the rules around here. Yeah. All right. Enough for the 3K. Enough for the 3K. Let me turn this off. We about to get real up in here. No drunk drivers. Valentine's Day. Man, I had to think about it. I thought about it for a while. Thought about it. Should I drop this video or not? And the more I thought about it, it's like, why not? I told y'all I was gonna be dipping myself into controversial topics. Now, it's not really controversial, but it's gonna hit home. It's gonna hit home. I know. Yeah. But I'm not above anything. I'm not above anybody. Like I told you all before, I am here, or I'm utilizing whatever I can do to educate the youth and everybody else, especially the youth, man, because there's so much nonsense out there, and it's nonsense in abundance. Like everywhere you go, nonsense. Nothing that they can build upon, nothing that they can utilize in real life application. Or maybe something is being taught to utilize in real life, and it's too complicated to where it's not even useful. You feel what I'm saying? So what I'm about to get into right now, it's gonna be about relationships. Yeah, relationships. What I know about relationships? I don't know nothing, right? I mean, I'm not a guru, nothing like that. Of course I'm not. I am not a guru, but I'm real good at analyzing and breaking stuff down. And I see it. And one of the reasons why I am talking about relationships, all jokes aside, is because everybody deals with relationships. So if I'm going to be talking about real life scenarios, then I need to be talking about real life topics, right? And relationships can cause a lot of heartache, pain, wasted time. That's one of the main ones, wasted time. And that time itself is an irreplaceable, non-replaceable commodity. And it needs to be valued and cherished as such. No matter what age, you need to cherish that time. But yeah, so I got my ear to the streets, as they say. Got my ear to the streets. A lot of people just grumbled and all this stuff. Now, what I'm about to say, it may not even fix anything. But if I can help one person, then mission accomplished. Just like me getting in front of this camera, I got those emails saying that I helped them get through depression. Hey, that's a goal. Accomplished. So yeah. I'm kind of getting my thoughts together. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to dive into this. But I guess just how I do everything else, I go right into that thing, you know. And I'm cool. I'm cool with it. So here we go. Man, but I'm not going to talk about Valentine's Day. I'm going to talk about relationships. And a lot of times people are allowing others into their lives, and they're wasting a lot of time, causing a lot of heartaches and pain, etc., etc., etc. Once the heartache and pain and all those things have already occurred, I don't want to say it's too late, but the damage has been done. The best thing you can do is learn from that experience, move on, and try not to make the same mistakes. The best way to remedy that pain and all these other things is to prevention. And in order to prevent, you must be able to identify. Meaning, you see this hand? You see the hand? You know what it is? Because you're like, oh, I'm telling you it's a hand, but you know it is a hand, so you're able to identify, right? Same thing with traits or characteristics that some people possess, and I'm here to identify. Let's get right to it. These are what I call not so building blocks. Meaning, you're getting into a relationship with someone, you want someone who you can build with. Building is more like a long-term commitment thing. Not every relationship is going to be a long-term commitment. But when you're building something, you're adding value. You know, other ideas come from those buildings, and it spawns other things and all this other stuff, right? If you're not building nothing, you're staying stagnant. Stagnant equates to nothing, really. Nothing. And as I was alluding to earlier, wasted time. This one, and also the information could be male or female, whatever. I wrote down, no house. So you meet somebody and they don't have a house. Now, I'm not saying you gotta have be in some suburb or some what do they call those tip of my tongue. I don't know what. Man, I'm getting my thoughts flustered. Oh, y'all know how I get down though, because once I get on, then it's on. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, we just go with suburb. It's another subdivision. Yeah, subdivision. We're not talking about a subdivision or anything like that. We're just saying a place to lay your head. Place to lay your head. If they don't have a place to lay their head, and then you choose to get off into a relationship with that person, and then you start making long-term arrangement with that person before they've even proven themselves to even be worthy, that's a no-no. Don't do that. Don't do that. And it's not to say that just because someone does not have a place to stay, it doesn't mean that they're a bad person. It's just that they're not developed to the point to where they're able to obtain or have access to you. That's all that means. So give them a few years or whatever, they may have got their stuff together. But while they're getting it together, you need to move on. You need to step to the side. So I'm telling you, you start something with someone like that, chances are it's going to be a lot of heartache and pain. I don't want to see you crying, talking about they no good and all that. Nah, this the red flag. Red flag. Take heed, abide by it, you be all right. You go another one I wrote down. No bread. Yeah, no bread. Now, let me explain to that. And when I say this, I'm only saying bread, money, whatever currency. When you're living life, to survive, you got to have food, clothing, shelter, transportation, and things like that. No matter whether it's today, it can be 1,000 years from now, you still needed food, clothing, shelter. In today's climate and environment, where you stay at right now, chances are you're going to need some type of currency, which equates to bread. You're going to need that. Now, no one is saying just because one is not a millionaire, or they're not making 100,000 or whatever X amount, that's a red flag. But if they're constantly asking you for money, red flag, red flag. You got to red flag them. Yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, you got to red flag them. Doesn't mean they're a bad person. It means they're just not developed yet to the point where they should have access to you. Now, if you ignore that red flag and you make long-term commitment with that red flag, and not so much red flag, but that character trait that I don't want the gangbangers after me. Nah, man, I ain't talking about that. Be quiet. But anyway, yeah, a characteristic that's not, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not conducive to building. Be mindful of that. Be very mindful of that. But yeah, if they asking you for stuff, if they asking you, they don't have the bread, and they asking, yeah, red flag, red flag. Here go another one. This one is a real good one. Not goal orientated. Let me break this down to you. Not goal orientated. You know what that means? If you dealing with somebody and you asking them about stuff, maybe about the future or whatever, and they don't have any plans for the future, it means that they're living for the moment. And if they're living for the moment, it probably means they're not wanting to build. Not wanting to build. So if you engage with someone who is not wanting to build and just strictly living for the moment, that is cause for concern. If you allow yourself to engage with a person who does not have any plans for the future, that's strictly living for the moment, it probably means they're looking at you as having fun for that moment. That's what that is. Now, if you allow them to have that fun with you and something were to come from that, i.e. a child and all that other stuff, you're gonna have problems. You're gonna have problems. The child is not the problems, but now you got to deal with this person for X amount of years, probably for your entire life. You don't want them problems. You don't want them problems. These are the characteristics that can prevent some of those problems. Yeah, I'm going there. I'm not attacking nobody. I'm just talking about real life. I'm talking about real life. That's all I'm doing. Here goes another one. Rush, 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 rush. Y'all just now meeting. They just rushing. Want to move in. Let me borrow your car. Let me do this. Let me do that. Let me do this. Let me do this. Now, you can be foolish enough to allow them to come into your space, take your bread, take your vehicle, move in your house. You can allow them to do that. Chances are you're going to encounter a lot of headaches. I'm telling you. I'm giving you this game. This ain't no something you should brush aside. Yeah, you shouldn't brush aside. You should not brush aside. But yeah, if they rush, it kind of goes back to just living for the moment. They just want to have fun with you. That's it. They just want to have fun with you for that moment, and that's pretty much it. Or they just want to use you. Yeah, rush. They trying to get to the goal. They not worrying about you. And it also means that they're inconsiderate. That's my next point. If someone is inconsiderate, meaning they lack empathy, not saying that's a definition, but that's one of the forms of being inconsiderate is someone who's lacking empathy, meaning they're not able to kind of, put themselves in your shoes to really see how you feel about a subject matter. And they're just like, I don't care about that. It's all about me. Inconsiderate, be mindful of that. That's a red flag. Don't allow yourself to, in any type of or don't allow yourself to be accessible to someone like that. Now, you can go ahead and do it. You can go ahead and do it. Be like, oh man, this fool ain't talking about nothing. All right. Go ahead. There's a lot of people who have, and they know I'm not lying when I'm saying these things, right? Inconsiderate. Also, if one is inconsiderate, chances are they lack of knowledge, which kind of breeds that someone being inconsiderate because they just don't have the knowledge to even attempt or they just can't see, they can't think outside of their own zone. They're not humbling themselves to even learn. So yes, that is inconsiderate. I take that to be inconsiderate. They're not humbling themselves. They're going to be inconsiderate. It's going to be selfish. It's going to be problems. It's going to be trouble. Like Mr. Mac man say, right? Yeah, it's going to be trouble. I'm telling you, it's going to be trouble. And these are I listed these as my obvious red flags, right? Obvious red flags. Let's get to the not so obvious ones. And these are the ones that get a lot of people in trouble. Trouble. I got charming. Yeah, charming, right? Everybody wants somebody who's charming. Yeah, that's a clever disguise. To be charming, you typically you're going to be considerate, all these other things, mannerable and all that. The reason I listed charming on there is because charming is not a building block trait. Let me say that again. Excuse me. Charming is not a building block trait. Charming is nothing but a mask. It masks the BS. That's what it's utilized for. Not saying that that's its only purpose, but if one was to be the bad guy in disguise, yeah, they're gonna come charming. They're gonna come at you in a charming way. Or the bad woman in disguise, right? Because there's bad people out there, male or woman. This could be applied male or woman. But yeah, if they charming, I'm not saying that's a red flag, but that is not a trait that you should look at to be like, hey, I can build with that person. Because honestly, they haven't proven anything. They have not proven nothing. Nothing. Now, that's a good intangible trait along with the stuff that you can really build with. Now, okay, yeah, along with the real stuff, they can be charming and it adds value to that person. I dig that. I can dig with that. But just being charming and all that and allowing that to forego your better judgment, it's gonna be trouble. It's gonna be trouble. Dress is good. So that could be male, female, a dude that dress good or a woman who dressed it all sexy. Yeah, that's all right. It look good. But is that a building block trait? No. Hell no, it's not a building block trait. So do not be fooled by these red flags that are disguised. Dressing good, all right. Once again, it's another intangible to go along with the real building blocks. But is that enough to be like, yeah, I can see myself with this person. You know, they're charming, they dress good. They haven't proven nothing. Have not proven anything. That's what I be wanting to drive home. They have not proven anything. Nothing. All right. Nice item, shiny vehicle, or shiny clothes. What else? We're talking about shiny clothes. What the hell am I talking about? Yeah, that's kind of the same thing with dressing good and all that stuff. But you all kind of get what I'm saying with the red flags. And once again, you don't have to take heed to it. You can say, hey man, this fool don't know what he's talking about. He's full of nonsense. What he know? He ain't dated nobody. He don't know nothing about nothing. Okay, then how come everything I just listed, it's hitting home for a lot of people? It's hitting home. And it would have hit home for myself. You know, I'm not immune to any of this stuff. But I like to give real life scenarios, real life topics, etc., etc. I'm navigating the real world just like anybody else. I've been navigating the real world just like anybody else. So I could have fell victim to all this stuff just like anybody else. You feel me? But nah, I'm just trying to, I really just want to enlighten people. I want to enlighten people to where, like, quit making the same mistakes. Stop doing that. You know, you don't have to do that. It's a lot of information out here. But if you're not seeking the real, whatever, and maybe if you are seeking the real, I want to be able to provide it. There we go. There we go. But yeah, some people, they're not going to take heed to it. They're going to talk noise. They're going to say, I'm out of line, I'm out of pocket, all those other things, and they're going to take shots. Well, you take shots. My only question is, or just do a real life analysis. So you take whatever you've been utilizing up until this point, which is your best judgment, right? That's what you've been utilizing. I'm pretty sure, pretty confident when you travel through life, you utilize your best judgment. And your best judgment got you to this, whatever that is, right? That's what it did. I'm not knocking. Typically that just comes from lack of knowledge, things like that. Yeah, that's where that comes from. I know it's harsh. These are some harsh, critical statements. I'm dipping my foot in there. I'm not scared. I ain't running. I'm standing on what I say. It is what it is. Somebody got to say it. I be seeing all this. I'm like, man, come on, man. You got to give the people real stuff. Give them that real, man. Stop with all the nonsense. And number 3, my last subject matter. It's not the end of the world. If you're dealing with someone who has some of those traits that I'm labeling as red flags, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that these people are scumbags, they're the worst people, the worst, and all these other things. Because if you have life, you still have life, you have time to correct all these things. Everything that I listed before as a red flag, if you have life, that means if you see this, that means you got life. And if you got life, you have time to correct. Everything I listed as a red flag can be corrected. You can correct it. So it's not the end of the world. It's not the end of the world. I'm not down talking. I'm not doing any of those things. You can correct it. You can correct it. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I was going to go into building blocks. That would have been like an hour-long video. So I'm already at, 20-something minutes, running my mouth. But yeah, was not trying to offend anybody. If you are, I don't know what to tell you. I'm talking about real stuff. That's all I'm doing. I want to educate. I want to enlighten. Tell the people who find it entertaining, thank you. If you don't like it, put the thumbs down on the YouTube or whatever. Any traction is good. It don't matter. It don't matter. And maybe you want to, you object to some of my statements. You know the email. Reach out, reachout119@gmail.com. We can chop it up. And maybe you can enlighten me. I could be wrong. Some of the things I listed, it may not even be a red flag. Prove me wrong. That's all I got to say on that. Prove me wrong. But yeah, that's a crazy Valentine's Day. Yeah, I don't too much rock with Valentine's Day anyway. Nobody need to tell me how to. I always had a problem with Valentine's Day. Don't need no holiday to tell me how to show affection or whatever. Like nah, because if somebody else tell you to do something and then I do it, you find out I do something just because somebody told me, it's not gonna be valid, So yeah, I had those. Woo! We used to go back and forth on that all the time. She won. But yeah, I participated in it. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like it. Don't like it at all. One more thing. And quit thinking that man or woman is gonna fall from the sky. Please, miss me with all that. Oh man, that's one thing that irks me. Okay, think about it. When you're hungry, you walking down the street and then a rack of lamb, boom, bust you upside the head. Oh, I'm hurting. I really wanted that rack of lamb. I was hungry and it just fell from the sky. What has fallen into your lap that's worth keeping? Think about it. Really think about it. That's worth keeping. Just worth keeping. Just fell, just happened. Boom. And then, okay, there's exceptions to every rule. All right, so what's the percentage of that? Out of 1 to 100, can you utilize that same concept in other things, right? No, you can't. You can't. You can try, you'll be unsuccessful. No man or woman is just gonna come and sweep you off your feet and all this other thing. It's gonna be the perfect one for you. No. You gotta have knowledge of self. That way you can identify who the hell you are, first and foremost. You begin to start loving yourself, and then you know what you can and cannot tolerate. That way you can kind of weed out all the BS. That's how that goes. That's how this works. All that experimenting, thinking it's going, the knight in shining armor, it's just going to come and sweep you off your feet. It ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. I know I hate to be raining on people's parade, but I'm keeping it real and funky. Same thing with the dudes thinking, oh yeah, she gonna cook, clean, and do all this other stuff. She gonna be obedient. Man, ain't nobody gonna be your slave. Get out of here with that old archaic nonsense. Nobody out here to do that for you. What you thinking, man? So, oh, they gonna listen to me. Shut up. Shut up. Be quiet. It don't work. It don't work. It just don't. Stop. Stop with the nonsense. Nobody's gonna come out of the thin air or whatever and be the perfect person for you. Man or woman, it's just not gonna happen. And if it does happen, give me the percentages. Give me 10 people that's happily right now that it just so happens, just so random, y'all met random, whatever, and boom, they together. Whatever, they didn't been together 20, 30 years. It's enough people, enough old people living right now. Give me some examples. That's how you shut my mouth. That's how you can shut my mouth. This is not to down, once again, it's not to down talk or put anybody down. Gotta snap out of it. Snap out of it. It don't work that way. It start with knowledge. Knowledge of self, you figure out yourself, you know what you are, you start loving yourself, then you figure out what you can and cannot tolerate. It's simple. Follow them steps, you'll be all right. You'll be all right. Had to throw that one in there. Just had to. All right. I'm out. This time. No drunk drivers. Peace.